The strange ship, built in a configuration completely unknown to the entire registry of ships, approached the edge of the traffic control zone without a transponder beacon to identify itself. Ugly, brutalesque, clumsy, primitive, it carried none of the elegance and finesse of modern ships and hearkened to an age long since dead when the last of the primitive species gained their ascension into the interstellar community nearly 7,000 cycles ago. It responded to no hails using the standard channels and formats. "Sir, we may have a problem here, but I am not sure of what type." The traffic controller on duty approached the control console. "Well, what is it?" "This ship, sir?" The traffic tracking officer indicated the holographic display with a flick of one of its tentacles. "It's not responding to any hails, and it is not broadcasting a transponder signal, and it's not on any schedule." "Well, that is a conundrum, isn't it? Any evidence of weapons, defensive or otherwise?" "No, sir. And the database has no recognition profile for it? Not even a suggestion for any sort of correlation?" "Correct." "Well, that certainly is interesting. What is its approach time?" "At current speed, sir." "Wait, that can't be right. Hold on a moment." "Well?" "At current speed, sir, it will arrive in a half cycle." "Wow." "I know, sir. Seems completely unreasonable. I had to triple-check it before I answered. I didn't think anything that slow was still operating." "It's not, sir. It's not allowed. Too dangerous for normal traffic. I'll notify the defense fleet. We may have to intercept and tow it in. In the meantime, track its origination point and report back." "Sure thing, boss." The intrepid tracker initiated the subroutines that wound their way through the various flight relays and observation buoys that traffic control had throughout the quadrant and, through process of elimination, determined that the ugly, barely a ship, had to originate from a very small segment of remote space, far from any known worlds inhabited by sentience and considerably outside the range of cost-effective mining. The tracker engaged a survey scan to examine all records of those systems to see if there were any worlds that had been surveyed but never significantly studied. The query ran. The query ran some more. The tracker's shift ended and it left work, leaving a small slip of paper taped to the console that read, "Do not touch, important search query in progress." The tracker's evening was pleasant. It conveyed the fascinating, anomalous ship it had found to its mate over their evening meal, and they relaxed to an evening of an immersive hollow of the largest nature-preserved planet in the Federation. The following morning, the tracker was shocked to find that the query, while still running, had not yet yielded any information on the region, despite searching through 57 million cycles worth of survey logs. Midshift was nearly upon the tracker when the console went ding and yielded a result. The tracker, eager to see what the truly ancient records had found, stared in horror as it reviewed the survey results of the little blue and green world. Monsters, huge monsters, behemoths of immense power and agility roamed the surface of this remote world, creatures the likes of which were rarely found in all the galaxy and which, in every single instance where they evolved, were unstoppable masses of violence which served only to perpetuate the isolation of their homeworld from any colonization. Any efforts to tame worlds with monsters such as these had been doomed. The only sentience that ever went to those worlds sought adventure and excitement, about half of them never returning. This world was covered in such monsters, both on land and in the seas, and this world had to be the origin point for the ship, as there are no other worlds anywhere in that sector that could have been the origination point. Sir, yes. I figured out what world that ship had to come from. Oh? Yes. Look. The urgency of the exchange drew all of the other members of the traffic control shift to watch the holographic display of the giants. They watched the catalog data from the survey craft which had captured the data. They watched as the ancient dialect that the data was captured in was transcribed by the computer into the modern vernacular for their comprehension. That ship came from that world? Yes. By Gresmium's rake, we are in a lot of trouble. The bridge of the Endeavour is a cramped space. Nothing on the ship is built for luxury. Nothing is built for anything other than the most basic functionality. The captain, sitting in his chair, was the first to notice the three lights that appeared to be changing amidst the field of stars. "What are those?" he asked. "Unsure, sir, but they are getting larger, so they're probably moving directly at us." "Is the ship in danger?" "Unknown, sir." "Figure it out. In the meantime, I think this is a good time to have an impact drill." The captain initiated the process that dragged all hands out of their current tasks and forced everyone to prepare for micrometeorites to shred parts of the hull. Each station had to check in, and he watched the timers carefully. "Excellent performance today, crew. Now that I have your attention. We have several objects that appear to be coming directly at us. We have yet to determine what they are, how fast they're going, and if we are in any danger. This is the most exciting moment we have yet had on our journey, so I encourage you all to look out the nearest viewpoint or at the nearest forward-facing monitor at your earliest off-duty moment." And with that, the excitement of the moment died back down into the background din of the normal ship's operations as the radar operator tracked the objects. "Sir, they're superluminal." "What?" "That's what I am seeing, sir. That's impossible." "I know, sir, but that's what the data says." "How can we detect them, then?" "Well, sir, all I can say is that we are seeing where they were when the radar last touched them. That means that they can't possibly be there now. See, they're not moving continuously. They're skipping, which means they are moving faster than our detection can maintain." "Holy hell, Latin. When are they going to get here?" "I don't know, sir." "But it could be—" "Sir, I have transmission." "On what band?" "All of them, sir, all of them." "Reply. Send them the greeting that the geeks back home prepared." "Sir, they're no longer superluminal. In fact, sir, they've turned around and are in what I would consider an escort formation. I hope they don't think we're hostile." "Unknown ship. Identify yourself." "Good. Just repeat that on loop until they reply. And if there is even the slightest indicator of weapons, blown them out of my sky." "Yes, sir." "We have detected a beam of some sort coming from their vessel, sir." "What type?" "Unknown, sir, but it's in the EMF band. Too weak to damage anything, so it is clearly not a weapon." "A sensory beam of some sort?" "Unknown, sir, perhaps." "Ignore it. Slow to match their speed." "Aye." "What is their speed?" Sir, 97C. "What?" "7C, sir." "We're expected to slow to that. Dropping below the sea barrier for long flight times raises havoc with ship's systems." "Yes, sir, and it's not going to be terribly comfortable for us either." "Orders are orders. Relay to the others." The trio of ships slowed to match the speed of the unknown vessel and reoriented their direction accordingly. "Sir, I have a reply from the vessel." "Load it up." "Sir, it's nonsense. It's not in any known language." "Run it through the language processor." "Already started, sir." UES Endeavour. "I am Squad Captain Kixialium. My squadron has been sent to escort you to our nearest traffic control point, as you are a hazard to interstellar traffic. Are you able to attain the minimum safe transport speed of 5C?" Squad Captain Quick E Ali Om. I am Captain Wolfhagen. I appreciate your restraint in approaching our quaint vessel. We are unable to achieve any greater speed than our current speed. Our mission is to a star we have designated as PX 480M7. The midpoint of mission's outward journey is in approximately 3 weeks, at which point we will cut our engines and turn our ship around to fire the engines in deceleration for the remainder of our journey. Please advise if this is a problem. Captain Wolfhagen, this is a problem. This will create a travel hazard for an unacceptable period of time to the greater transit system. Please be advised that we will provide a ship to tow you the remainder of the way. Squad Captain Quick E Ali that offer is most gracious and greatly appreciated. Our mission's duration on the endpoint is to last 5 years before we are to return. Will you provide such a service for the return journey? Captain Wolfhagen, that is not a question I am able to answer as it exceeds my mission parameters. Please provide a fix for your target world so we can verify it is able to allow your mission. LT, send over the astronomical data on the world. Yes, sir. Captain Wolfhagen, you do not appear to be aware that the world you are headed to is a thriving metropolis with nearly 15 billion sentients settled upon it. I do not believe there is an opportunity there for whatever your original mission is. Please request updated orders from your home world. Squad Captain Quick E Ali Such a request and the answer would take 115 years to arrive here. That is a challenge. Please stand by while I brief my superior on the situation and await their updated orders. In the meantime, you look nothing like our data collected on the world from which you came. Can you apprise us of your history? What did you expect us to be? The view screen on the bridge of the Endeavour switches to show a montage of dinosaurs in their natural habitats in primordial Earth. Holy shit, that's a stegosaurus, mutters someone on the bridge. Ah, I hear you are familiar with these creatures. We held great concern that your vessel was filled with such. No, sir, we haven't had to worry about the likes of anything on that screen for a long time. They're all extinct now. The screen immediately went dead. Sir, is that a problem? Did we offend them by saying dinos are extinct? I don't know. Squad Captain Kixialium to Fleet Control. Urgent request for updated orders. What is the urgency? Primitive craft is an initial foray into the galaxy. This is a first contact situation. Craft is subluminal. Craft's mission is to explore occupied world. Subluminal communication with homeworld prevents updating their mission parameters. Updated directives needed. Understood, is that all? No. Sirs. We must tread extremely carefully. These beings, despite their primitive technology, are very powerful. Please review the attached data we have from a preliminary survey of their world. Note that it was infested by savage monsters of immense size and power, the likes of which we have never been able to exterminate on any world where they evolved without destroying the entire ecosphere of the world. We have seen the survey data. Please explain. The beings on board are not of the same evolutionary line as the behemoths. They are derived from an ape-like being. They appear to be similar in size and mass to the average sentients that participate in the Galactic Union. Continue. They inform us that the behemoths on their world are extinct and that they no longer have to worry about them. You mean these beings eradicated a world of massive killing machines without destroying themselves? Yes, sir. And then they set out to visit the stars, to visit us. If we offend them, they may decide that we are the thing they should next eradicate. Squad Captain Kixialium, extend all courtesies to this vessel. We cannot afford to anger their homeworld in any way. We cannot take the risk of a species able to accomplish such a tremendous feat finding us hostile. Understood. Captain Wolfhagen, please accept my apology for my abrupt disconnect a short while ago. My superiors required a moment of my time to update our orders with respect to you and your crew. We would like to have you cut your engines and we will tow you to our nearest diplomatic station. Our government representatives would like to meet you and welcome you to our little galactic community of worlds. We will then ferry you home in one of our vessels to discuss your future among us.